RV ready to go.
RV ready to go?
Yes.
RV ready to go?
Yeah.
Are we ready to RV?
Absolutely. Come on, let's go.
That was cute.
Yeah.
RV
So
ready to go.
the topic today is how we keep our RV ready to go between trips so it's not a struggle.
Between trips, so it's not as much
of a struggle. And we'll start by saying we're blessed enough to have the RV at home in a barn, and we have power. We keep it plugged in so the refrigerator regulates, the air conditioner or heater, whatever the season is, keeps the inside of the coach temperature
year round.
Yes.
So yes, we are.
So that's step one, right?
We're able to do that.
Yeah, that helps tremendous, because then we can keep our staples in there. Like in the fridge, we could keep all our condiments, and in the cabinets, we can keep, canned foods, and
Well, the most important thing in the refrigerator is my orange crush beer. That's the most important thing in the refrigerator, and we can keep it. It's ready to go.
It's not beer, honey.
Oh, well, it can be. I think it's ice cold. Isn't that the first important words of beer? Ice cold?
Yes.
Oh, some ice cold crush
soda.
Beer.
Ice cold soda.
But yes, we get to keep the RV is in a state of readiness basically at all times. And it's a lot of that is due to being lucky and being able to have a barn to keep it in. It's out of the weather, it's out of the sun. It's not climate controlled at all, but we keep like you said, the air conditioners and or the heat, so it's never winterized. We don't ever winterize it.
Right. And the power's on, so the refrigerator remains on, or refrigerators now remain on, so we can keep it kind of stocked with
and it's not
your drinks.
Super crazy expensive.
No,
because
for the power?
Yeah, because I keep it on in the summertime. Like right now, it's been close to 100 degrees every day, and we keep it at 82, the thermostat on 82, and I'm only running 2 air conditioners because it keeps the whole thing pretty good. And then in the summertime, we'll put it on like 40 degrees. I'm sorry, the wintertime, we'll put it on like 40 degrees.
Just to keep it chill off.
Yep, and then we have a basement that we talked about in another video, a basement heater that keeps the basement. It only cuts on at, I think, 40 degrees.
Sure. Well, let's
it's automatic.
Refocus back on today's topic.
That is today's topic.
That's
what makes it ready.
Well, yes and no. I mean, temperature, yes. Yes and no.
It's 100% on topic. Go on with your bad self. Let's go.
Right. Well, you're going off into some other stuff.
Into details?
Yes. So, do you keep the truck full of gas?
Yes. Truck is full of gas. Really, it's full of diesel. Diesel fuel. Yep. I try to go after we get back camping, try to go get some fuel, fill it back up so it's ready to go. I try at least, well, that doesn't make it ready, but I try to wash both of them the weekend prior to us going, but that doesn't.
What about the tires?
The tires I try to keep checked and keep them pressurized and ready to go. We have the, tire pressure monitoring system for the RV. We don't have them on the truck because Ford doesn't offer that on the F-450. And
that's a project because you bought them and we just have not put them on.
Correct.
So what else do we do? I mean, I know mainly it appears, because I know you do a lot down there without me knowing. Same with your Amazon orders. But I digress. What else do you do in between our trips to kind of keep us RV ready?
Well, not so much with this new one because I haven't figured out what to do yet for sure 100% long term. But on the old one, I had a...
Old one being our Z2900.
Exactly. I had put the extended pipe.
New one being our 3250.
Yep, G3250. I had put the pipe on there for the freshwater tank to where I could fill it up and or drain it from inside the barn, drain it outside of the barn. And right now I've just got 2 pipes that can fit up because it's got 2 drains on this new one. And I've got the pipes connected to a big hoses separate. And then I'll have to run the pipes out and do the draining that way. So it's not as convenient yet until I can possibly figure out a way. Anyway, to be able to keep the freshwater tanks clean, filling them up, draining them, without having to sanitize every 15 minutes. So that's one thing for the freshwater tanks.
That is okay.
That's to keep this, makes it ready to go.
What do you have to do? The tanks are empty. What do you have to do with a freshwater tank?
The tanks are not empty. The tanks are never fully empty. Freshwater tanks have, who knows, a couple of gallons of water in there, even after you drain them.
So they don't drain all the way?
No. You go up that thing now, it's going to drain a little bit out.
So water just sits in there for weeks?
Exactly.
So what do you flush it?
Yeah, it's kind of like flushing it.
Okay.
So I imagine.
I didn't know that.
I imagine you.
Do peeps know that?
I don't know if they know that or not, but it's too coincidental. When you sit there and drain it, the water stops coming out, and then you move the RV just a little bit, open the valve again, and more water comes out. Tells me it's not draining all the way. So.
And you can't turn the RV upside down and shake it out. Right?
Yeah, I haven't figured out a way to do that yet. So, and the black tanks, what we do to make it RV ready to go.
Yes.
Is we put 3 to 5 gallons in it after we flush it from the campsite, at the campsite, and or
at the dump station.
Correct. Put our chemical in there, and I think that it sloshes around, rinsing it, washing it, whatever you want to call it, on the way home. And now we are going to start doing the same thing for the gray tank. So it can kind of wash itself and it be ready to go. And they're basically empty at home in the barn, ready to go.
Sure.
So they already have the chemical in them for us to go.
Well, and when we're at the campsite, I do. Yes. Clean. As we're packing up, that's one part of the packing up that I do is clean. So the RV is RV ready. I don't have to go out there and clean or nothing like that. And the way that we stage our, everything that goes in the house, we've got it one place. We pull it all out when we come home, and everything's ready to go. So we keep certain things in the camper.
Yep. I got my
extra slippers.
I got my scat pack. I got my ruck pack. I got my escape pack, my prepper pack, whatever they call that. Your
go bag.
I got a go bag. I don't have all that, but you just got some clothes that we leave out there.
Yes, and you can duplicate some things, and so that helps too. My goodness, where did we go?
He's falling.
He's slinging you around.
Well, we're at the racetrack.
Apparently, so we've got some things that we keep in the RV itself to not have to worry. Toothbrushes are out there, toothpaste is out there. We got extra, dental floss, Pepsid if we need Pepsid, medications, that kind of thing. Obviously, you need to go through and double check.
Refresh it every once in a while.
Expiration dates and rotate them out. But we do have some common things out there. I try to keep, we keep toilet paper out there. We keep tissue out there. We keep paper towels out there, stuff like that, where we don't have to scramble and go, oh my gosh, we got to load the kitchen up. Oh, I forgot the aluminum foil. I forgot this. I forgot that. We don't have to do that. It's all there.
Yeah.
So that makes things a little easier. So basically it's, okay, what groceries are we adding to the kitchen?
Correct. And then clothes.
And then clothes. And as far as that goes. And then in the middle of it, it sounds to me like you do the RV maintenance. You do the cleaning, you check the tires, you make sure the pin's greased. Stuff like that is done in between, kind of at a leisurely
Correct.
Right? So that we're RV ready.
RV ready
to go. Yes. So that way we put the clothes in, we put the groceries in, and the groceries doesn't have to include every single condiment every single time because it's already built up in inventory.
A little bit of it. And then I have canned goods that are already in there.
Technically supposed to be, we're falling again, technically supposed to be expensive, but somehow it's still expensive.
The groceries are, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the grocery prices today are expensive anyway, but my honey seems to, okay, I don't have to buy this condiment or this thing, so I'm going to buy this instead so I have a treat.
Ain't nothing wrong with a good old treat.
Yeah. And I try to let our home ice maker makes those little, I call them whiskey balls, but I'm not sure what they are. It makes those, so I let that build up and not use them and bag those up and take them down there.
Even though technically we haven't implemented it yet, we have an ice maker now.
I know, but you haven't implemented the 3-stage water filter system yet. So I am not drinking ice that has been made in that without you doing.
It's going to be very difficult to drink ice.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
because I'm peculiar about my taste of my ice. And my home ice tastes a certain way.
Oh, my goodness.
We don't even buy ice. I bring home ice everywhere. So, yeah. It's one of those
anyway, that's why I like to stick my head up into the house. RV ready! I like that. RV ready to go. So
everything you can do to structure and plan so that it doesn't,
it's not near stressful.
It's not annoying and it doesn't make it super hard work to go RVing.
Correct.
And we go once a month. All of these little things add up and makes it much more pleasurable.
Correct.
To just RV ready and go.
What do y'all do? What comment? Tell us how y'all do it. Or
yes. What have we missed that we could be doing and make it even better? That would be amazing, right? Yeah. Help each other. We're in this together, right?
Yeah.
So this has been another episode of On the Drive. I'm Kimberly and this is Steve, our amazing, the perfect husband, her self-proclaimed. Yes. Self-proclaimed perfect husband.
Sometimes the T-Ruth hurts.
Yes. We are so thankful you're here with us. And if this is your first time, welcome. If you're a returning viewer or listener, because now we're available via podcast on YouTube Music if you prefer to listen versus watch us. So yeah, there's that. So if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much. I cannot explain how appreciative we are of you returning and viewing or watching or listening to us. This is our 60th On the Drive episode. So celebrate. We've had a time.
Almost as old as I am.
Yeah. And if you haven't heard us before, don't worry. You can catch up with us. No problem. You haven't missed anything. Well, I guess you have missed 59 episodes, but you can catch up quick because we like to keep these episodes rather quick, around the 10-minute mark. Oh, let alone this one's gone a little bit over.
It has.
But anyway, all to say, thank you. Press like. Subscribe, click the bell for your notifications so you know when a new episode drops. And as always, guys, have a great day.
See you later.